Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night and caught your cat staring into the corner of the room completely frozen, eyes locked on something you can't see? That strange, quiet moment where your body tenses and for a second you wonder if they're seeing something you're not. It's unsettling, almost like there's a whole world unfolding right beside you while you sleep. But before you jump to something supernatural, there's something much deeper happening here, and it has everything to do with how your cat experiences you. Because the truth is, the moment you fall asleep, your cat doesn't just rest. Your breathing changes, your movements stop, your awareness disappears, and to your cat, that changes everything. They start observing you differently, responding differently, even communicating in ways you were never meant to notice. Think about it. Have you ever woken up to a soft paw on your face or found your cat unusually close to you in the middle of the night? Let us know in the comments if you've ever experienced that. Spoiler alert, one of the things your cat does after checking on you might completely change how you see them. Your cat sees the parts of you others miss. Number 1, the gentle paw on your face. Have you ever woken up to your cat placing a soft paw on your cheek or lightly tapping your nose while you were fast asleep? Most people assume it's just a cute habit or a not-so-subtle way of asking for food. But here's what most cat owners completely miss. When you fall asleep, your breathing changes. It becomes slower, deeper, and more rhythmic. And to your cat, that shift is impossible to ignore. Cats are incredibly sensitive to breathing patterns, because in the wild, those patterns signal whether another animal is safe or in danger. So when your cat touches your face at night, it's not random. It's a check. A quiet, instinctive way of confirming that you're still responsive, still breathing, still okay. This behavior is rooted deep in survival instinct. In small feline social groups, monitoring each other could mean the difference between life and death. And somehow, even in the safety of your home, your cat still runs that same ancient code on you. That small, gentle touch you barely notice. That's not just affection. That's awareness. One clue revealed, but what your cat does after this check might be even more unexpected. Number 2. The 3 a.m. midnight sprint. You're lying in bed, the house completely silent. Maybe it's sometime around 3 a.m. Suddenly, out of nowhere, your cat explodes into motion, racing down the hallway, jumping on furniture, skidding across the floor like something unseen is chasing them. You sit up confused, maybe even a little annoyed. What just happened? Most people think this is random, that their cat is just being chaotic, or worse, a little crazy. But here's what's actually happening. Cats are naturally crepuscular, meaning they're biologically wired to be most active during dawn and dusk. And deep in their instincts, these hours aren't just for hunting, they're for scanning, patrolling, and securing their territory. So that sudden burst of energy, it's not meaningless. Your cat is doing a full sweep of their environment, checking entry points, reacting to subtle sounds, making sure everything, including you, is safe. Even indoor cats who've never faced real danger still follow this internal clock. It's built into them. So the next time your cat sprints through your home in the middle of the night, just remember they're not losing control. They're on duty. And if you're starting to see your cat a little differently now, make sure to like and subscribe, because the next behavior reveals something even more personal. Number 3, the kneading on your blanket. According to feline behavior expert John Bradshaw, kneading is one of the most deeply ingrained behaviors carried from kittenhood into adulthood. But its purpose doesn't stop at comfort. Research into feline scent communication shows that cats have active scent glands in their paw pads, meaning every press they make leaves behind a chemical signature. Now think about a familiar moment. You're lying in bed, barely awake, and your cat climbs onto your chest or curls up beside you. Then it starts slow, rhythmic pressing into your blanket, your pillow, sometimes even directly on you. It looks peaceful, almost nostalgic. But here's what's really happening. Each push of their paws is releasing pheromones, marking that exact spot as safe, familiar, and theirs. And when that spot happens to be your bed, your space, it becomes something shared. This isn't random behavior. It's intentional bonding. In the wild, cats only perform this kind of scent marking in areas tied to security and social connection. So when your cat kneads next to you at night, they're not just getting comfortable. They're blending their world with yours. That soft, repetitive motion you've seen 100 times. It's your cat quietly saying this space, and you, belong to me. But if that feels intimate, what your cat does in complete darkness might feel even stranger. Number 4, the silent stare into the dark. That sense that something feels off, it doesn't end with touch or movement. Because once your cat has checked on you and settled into the night, another behavior quietly takes over, one that most people find deeply unsettling. Have you ever woken up just enough to see your cat sitting completely still, staring into a dark corner of the room? No movement, no sound, just unblinking, focus on what looks like absolutely nothing. It sends a chill down your spine. But here's what's really happening. Cats don't experience darkness the way you do. Their eyes contain a reflective layer called the tapetum lucidum, allowing them to see in light levels far below what humans need. What looks like total darkness to you is a detailed environment to them. And it's not just vision. Cats can hear frequencies up to 6,4,000 hertz, more than 3 times the human limit. That means tiny movements inside walls, insects in the ceiling, even subtle vibrations in pipes become clear signals in their world. So when your cat stares into nothing, they're not imagining things. They're detecting something real, just not something you're equipped to perceive. One layer of the mystery revealed. But what your cat chooses to do next when they come closer to you is far more personal. Number 5, the grooming of your hair while you sleep. Long before cats ever shared a home with humans, their ancestors like the African wildcat, Felis libica, survived by forming small, tightly bonded social groups. And within those groups, one behavior stood out as a clear signal of trust and connection: grooming. But not just self-grooming. Allo-grooming, when one cat grooms another, was reserved for those within the inner circle. Family members, trusted companions. It wasn't casual. It was a survival-based bond, reinforcing safety, familiarity, and social cohesion. Now bring that into your bedroom. You're asleep completely unaware and your cat moves closer. Maybe they begin licking your hair gently, nibbling or rubbing their face against your head. It might seem strange, even random, but it's anything but. Your cat is acting on ancient instinct. They're treating you the same way their ancestors treated those they depended on for safety. Mixing sense, reinforcing connection, quietly maintaining a bond that in the wild meant trust and survival. And here's the part most people never realize. This doesn't happen when you're awake. It happens when you're most vulnerable, which means your cat isn't doing it for attention. They're doing it because to them, you're family. But there's one final behavior, one that happens after all of this, that reveals how your cat truly feels about you. Number 6, the slow blink you never see. After everything your cat does throughout the night, the checking, the patrolling, the quiet bonding, there's one final behavior that almost no owner ever witnesses. Not because it's rare, but because it happens at the exact moment you're not looking. Imagine this. Your cat approaches you while you're asleep. The room is still. Your breathing is slow. There's nothing to gain, nothing to ask for. And then they pause, look directly at your face, and slowly close their eyes. This is known as the slow blink. Most people think of it as just another cute expression, but in feline communication, it's one of the most vulnerable signals a cat can give. Closing their eyes in front of another being means they feel completely safe, completely unthreatened. It's trust at its purest form. What makes this even more powerful is that your cat does this when you can't respond, when you won't react, when there's no reward waiting on the other side. They're not doing it for attention. They're doing it because it's real. One final clue revealed. But understanding what this truly means for your relationship with your cat might change everything. And if you've ever caught even a glimpse of this moment, don't forget to like, because the way your cat sees you is deeper than you think. When you look at your cat during the day, it's easy to think you understand them. The way they follow you, ignore you, demand food, or curl up beside you, it all feels familiar, predictable even. But what happens when you're asleep tells a completely different story. Because in those quiet hours when you're not watching, your cat is. They check your breathing, they patrol your space, they mark your scent as part of their own, they groom you like family. And in the stillness of the night, they express a kind of trust so pure you were never meant to see it. Meo không yêu theo cách ồn ào. They don't need attention to prove it. They don't need a reaction. Their deepest connection happens in silence when you're most vulnerable, and they choose to stay. That's the part most people miss. To your cat, you're not just someone who feeds them. Your safety, your familiarity, your home. You are their family. But here's the thing. If these small behaviors can already say so much, then what else has your cat been trying to tell you this whole time? You think you know your cat. Wait until you see what these small behaviors actually mean. Go watch this next video and study them in a whole new way.